Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you guys are subscribers, welcome. Today we are starting off by glittering a pen with some glow-in-the-dark glitter. This is called Ghost, and you can find this glitter at Backfist Customs. It's a shop on Etsy that I found. So yeah. I think they have a website too, but I don't remember because I got this glitter a long time ago and I haven't shopped their shop in a while. So yes, anyways, we are just going to Mod Podge our pen and glitter it with this glow in the dark glitter. So as you can see here, that is exactly what we are doing. So after I glitter this, I think I glittered it about 2 times just to make sure that I had full coverage, making sure that my Mod Podge dried and knocking off any excess of the glitter off the pen. So after I made sure that my pen was completely covered, I went in with my Skin Fast Resin Rockers pen UV resin, and I am going to apply a layer of UV resin to my pen. I believe I did probably 2 layers just to make sure that it was completely covered, and um, I have kind of a hard time with my resin. I have no idea why I do this, but I kind of like tilt my pen up. So I end up getting like a little fupa on the bottom of my pen, which is pretty annoying, and I have noticed that I've been doing that. And to be honest, I didn't really notice that I was doing that before. So now that I like catch myself tilting my pen up, as you can see here, my pen is tilted up a little bit. You do want to make sure it is leveled so that your resin is completely leveling out. And I believe this certain type of resin is self-leveling, but like I said, don't tilt your pen up like I have been doing, because then you're going to end up with a little fupa and you're going to end up having to go in and sand and fix everything. And if you're like me, you're going to catch yourself doing that over and over and over and over again. So it's just a little more work to add into making a pen if you actually do that, like tilt your pen up a little. So I have been trying to work on that. I am working on some pens for the RTS sale that I am going to have on the 30th. So I have been catching myself tilting it but also leveling it out so that I don't have any fupas on my pens. So after that, I am just going to cure my resin. I do leave it under my light for about 5 minutes just to make sure it is completely cured and ready to go. So after this, I just had a random piece of water slide. So I am just going to apply that to my pen. So this particular piece of water slide I printed out a while back. So I did seal my water slide before putting in the water, obviously, otherwise my ink would be going everywhere since I have an inkjet printer. I am going to make a video in the future on how to seal and apply your water slide to a tumbler, but it is pretty easy. After you seal it, you just kind of dip it in the water and you just want to make sure that your backing is coming off. So as you can see there, I'm kind of like trying to shift the water slide to see if it's ready, and if it completely shifts, then I know that my water slide is going to be ready to apply to the pen. This little pen cradle I got off of Etsy, and to be honest, I don't remember the name of the shop, but if I do remember, I will try to link it in the description if you guys would like to purchase one. I did make my water slide a little bit easier to apply, uh, but also at the same time harder. I don't know why. So yes, you just want to slowly remove the backing, and you do want to make sure that your pen is completely leveled out, like the UV resin that you applied, so that you won't have any water gaps or air pockets or any of that in between your water slide and your pen. So that is what I am doing here. I am taking out all the little like water pockets and air pockets that are being created as I move that piece of backing off of the water slide. So this particular pattern, I downloaded it off of Etsy as well. And again, if I remember, I will put the name of the shop in the description just because I have had these for a while and I can't necessarily remember it off the top of my head. So once I finish applying that, I am going to cut off any excess of the water slide that I have hanging off and going in with my craft knife as well, just to make sure that I have a nice clean line, and making sure that all of those little air bubbles and water pockets are out. I am just going to rub. You don't want to handle it too much, otherwise your water slide will start to tear. So just keep that in mind when you are working with your water slides. So I am just going to take some scissors and just snip that right off, and then use my craft knife to remove that. So the idea for this pen, actually, I got it on the 16th of September. And if you didn't know, that is Mexico's Independence Day. So what a better way, to create a little pen with some Mexican goodies. Um, so yeah. After this, I am going to let my water slide dry, and then I am going to go in. So while my pen is drying, well, finishing off to dry, I am going to experiment a little and take some UV resin and use some alcohol inks to create my chamoy drip to match with my pen. So I am using the inks from Jen's Crafted Gems. I have used these in the past. She's probably sold out of the inks, but if you guys would like to purchase them, just keep out an eye for them. So I did about 3 drops of the color Gory and 2 drops of the color Flamethrower, just to kind of create that look. Because chamoy has a particular red color that I love, so I am just going to try to recreate it from these inks, and I did go in the extra mile and put in some tajin powder into my UV resin. So I also took a actual chamoy bottle and compared my ink to the color of the chamoy, which I think came out pretty well. And now here I am just taking some of that tajin powder and putting it into my UV resin mixture and just mixing that right in. It does create a little bit of texture to your pen as well when you apply that drip. Alright, so now that my pen is completely dry, I am going to place it on this little diamond shaped tool thing that I got from the same shop where I got that pen cradle, and I am just going to start to lightly put on the resin and creating the drip. I am sorry that I had to do it this way because you guys can't necessarily see the drips going down. Um, but I will end up moving the pen in a little bit so that you guys can see exactly how it is dripping or how it dripped. Um, So yeah, you do want to be careful in this part. You could use like a little pen stopper at that top so that you can make sure that none of that UV resin is going into the hole. Um, but I since I was just experimenting, I was being super careful. So I just kind of went with it. And I do kind of end up flipping the pen upside down so that my drips don't go all the way down to the bottom of the pen and just have the top of the pen covered with the chamoy drip. Um, I didn't resin the pen before applying the drip for the water slide. In hindsight, I should have done that, but I don't know what I was thinking that I just kind of went with it. I think I just got kind of excited with the design. So, yeah, here I am just making sure gravity does its thing, pulling that little bit of resin down so that I don't have most of my design covered, which I actually ended up covering it a little bit from the top. So yeah, after we do that, we are going to cure our resin, and you do want to make sure to leave it in for a little bit longer. Since it is a darker color, it is going to take a little bit more time to cure it, or if you like end up curing the top, you could also just place it in the sun and you can have it finish off. So here I am just fixing the drips because they were getting a little too pointy for me. So I tried going in and fixing that. I do end up putting a little bit more of that chamoy resin mixture on the top because I wanted it to have a little bit more color. In hindsight, I probably should have cured it a little bit longer so that I can just go with the flow. So yeah, I cured this for about, I don't know, probably like 10 to 15 minutes just because that color was a really like deep red. So I did want to make sure that my pen was completely cured, and there I go again with tilting my pen. I'm telling you guys, I have a problem with this. um, so after this, I am going to go in with some more of that UV resin and just covering my whole pen so that I can make sure that my drip is safe, my water slide is safe, and everything is completely covered in this UV resin. And I did do probably 2 coats of the resin, or probably 3 coats to be honest, I don't remember. Um, but you do want to make sure, well, at least I made sure to kind of pull down that pulled up resin in between the drips just so that I could feel the drips and that little bit of texture of the tajin powder that I put into the mixture. You don't need to put in the tajin if you guys don't want to. That is completely optional. You could also create different color drips and add different elements to the drips. I have seen in other videos that they did add the tajin powder or a different kind of chile powder, which I thought was super cute. So that is why I decided to do that. So after I made sure that my pen was completely covered in resin, I am going to cure it again for about 5 minutes, and then I am going to clean out my pen with that little tool that I never remember what it's called, but that you guys see a lot in my videos because that's how I end up cleaning up my stuff. To be honest, I think it's calling like a deburring tool or something. This is a little tool that I'm talking about. Um, it's easier for me to use this tool when I'm cleaning the pens just because of that little swivel blade that it has. So I just clean out the top and the bottom, and then we are ready to assemble our pen. So after I finish cleaning it out, I'm going to assemble it, and that will be the end of the video. So if you guys liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be back on Saturday with a Tumblr video. And just to let you know, it's pretty cool. um, so yeah, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and see you on Saturday.